Hey, Shalom. Shalom, you know what it is. It's Swordsman. Got a good show today. Name of this show is Second Exodus is at Hand, Part 5. Okay. Why did I choose to bring up this show? Because you see things going on in the planet, all these plagues, and soon the people are going to want answers. Okay, why are these things happening? Why every time we turn around, there's a catastrophe? There's people dying. There's murders. Okay, there's floods. There are hurricanes. Okay, why are these things happening? So people are gonna want answers, and all your answers is found right here in this book. You see this? The Bible, King James, 1611. Okay, let's get some evidence right quick. Now, you know the landslides and the fires and everything that's going on, especially in the United States. Let's get Isaiah 29, verse 6. Isaiah 29, verse 6. It says, "Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder and with earthquake." Didn't they have an earthquake back in Haiti maybe a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago? Then it says, "And great noise, with storm and tempest, and the flame of devouring fire." You see these fires that was happening in California? You think all this stuff is just done by coincidence? You know who's doing this stuff? You know who's doing this stuff? Let's get it in the Bible. Okay, let's get it in the Bible. Okay, who's doing this stuff? Why are these things happening? Okay, let's get this. This is Amos. Okay, Amos, the 5th chapter, and we want to get okay, we want to get we're going to go to Amos. I'm sorry, we're going to Amos 3, verse 6. It says, "Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord have not done it?" So it's the Lord doing these things. Why? Because the Lord is mad. The Lord is furious. The Lord did not create this earth to have all this chaos, debauchery, lying, adultery, all the things that violate his laws, statutes, and commandments and his judgments. Okay? So let's show what's going on according to the scripture. And we're going to go on about the second Exodus. Okay? Watch this. This is the King James Apocrypha. I'm going to Ecclesiasticus, better known as Sirach, the 10th chapter. Okay? See, these words are coming to pass. If you believe it, care about it, or if you don't, who cares? The Bible's coming to pass. You can talk, it's man's books, it's fables, fairy tale, whatever you want to say. The Bible's coming to pass. Let's read this. This is Ecclesiastes 10, verse 8. "Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another." Let me read that again. This is Ecclesiasticus 10, verse 8. "Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to the other." This is how America was founded. America was founded on bloodshed, stealing, murder, lies. That's what it's founded on, right? And it's governed on the same thing. And guess how it's going to go down? Okay, this is why you see chaos happening. And it's going to get worse, and it's going to get worse. 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 So let's go into the Messiah. Let's get the color of the Messiah first. I always got to read that because you got an imposter running around the planet talking, look with blue eyes and doggy stringy hair, talking about he's Jesus. Let's read that. Okay. The Bible is a black man's book. It's our history, our past, and our present. Okay. Let me say that right. Our past, present, and future. That's what the Bible is. It tells what happened to us, what's going to happen to us, and what's coming to happen to us. Let me read that. Revelation, the 1st chapter. The revelation of Jesus Christ, which the Most High gave unto him to show unto a servant things which must shortly come to pass. And he sent and signified it by the angel unto his servant John. I'm going to jump down. Here it is. Verse 13. In the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man. So John the Revelator is describing the Son of Man, clothed with the garment down to his foot and girt about the paps with a golden girdle. So he had on a garment and it was down to his foot, and he had a gold girdle around his waist. And his head and his hairs was white like wool. He had white woolly hair, and the beard was white, and as white as snow, and his eyes was as a flame of fire. Then it says his feet was like unrefined brass, as if they burned in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters. So I have to read that every time I teach, because there's an imposter running around. Okay, and if you see this guy, he has blue eyes and doggy stringy hair, and he's running around impersonating Jesus. Okay, so I had to put that out. Now, let's go to Matthew 24th chapter again. Okay, a lot of horrific things is headed here. A lot of horrific things are going to come in the planet. Okay, so let's see the prophecy. Okay, let's get Deuteronomy 28:49, and let's go to the beginnings of what the forefathers of the people that run this world, what did they do to get this world they call America, which is known as Babylon the Great in the Bible, to get it running as it is today? What happened? Was it voting that got America to where it's at? And then you're going to understand why the judgment of this place is going to be so severe. Let's go back into the history of what your forefathers did. And this is what you so-called white people, this is what your forefathers is hiding from you. They've been lying to you and deceiving you and telling you that a nigga ain't nothing but S-H-I-T. But you're going to find out that one you call a nigga and that guy running around with his pants hanging off his behind are the descendants of the 12 tribes of Israel. Deuteronomy 28, verses 40, 49. This is prophecy. This Deuteronomy 28:15. Let's get that first. Now, these people were told back during the time of Moses, if they didn't keep the laws of God, what was going to happen to them in the future. So let's read that. Deuteronomy 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Okay, let's get one of the major curses. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as an eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand, and a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of old, nor show favor to the young. Okay, they kill our kids every day in those abortion clinics. Don't care. I don't care if that's a baby. Who gives a damn? Why? Because they sacrificing our children to Satan. They always did that. That's nothing new. The Egyptians did the same thing. The Roman Empire did the same thing. Okay, so now let's go to the beginning of this place. The people that now rule the planet, how they started out. Well, they are upright, standing race of people. And then we're going to go into Matthew 24, and you'll understand why the end of the world is at hand. Okay, let's go into the crimes of these people. Let's look at the crimes. They got the nerve to put R. Kelly on trial. They got the audacity to put him on trial. What their forefathers did and what they're maintaining, what their forefathers are doing. Okay, let's read that. And then you brothers and sisters, you're not thinking. You're not being intelligent. Okay, you think these white people that live in all these best neighborhoods got the best food? You think they give a damn if you starve or your people starve? They all a part of it. They're all a part of the corruption. I got white friends. Oh yeah? Did your white friend tell you the Hebrew Israelites and we deserve to give you everything we stole from you? Well, if they ain't talking like that, they not your friends. Okay? They not your friends. So let's read the history of what these people did. Okay? Here it is. This is First Maccabees. Now this is documented, and I'm gonna read this brother. I'm gonna show you something. This is true. This is documented, and this is stuff they don't want us to know about. I don't have the book with me. I don't think I got the book. Yeah, I got the book on me. I wanted to read that. I'll probably read it next time. Sorry. Yeah, I'll probably read it next time. I haven't got my book on me. Oh, wow. Hold on. Bear with me. I think I see it. Yeah, we got it. We're going to read. This brother here wrote this book. It's a brother. He's a scholar. And he wrote what happened. Okay, we're going to read it. It's documented in their history. This ain't nothing that was prophesied. They were going to do it. So let's go to the Bible. And let's show the Most High prophesied these events before they happened through the spirit of the prophet Daniel. Let's read that. Okay. This is Daniel. Daniel told of things. The prophets spoke of things before they came to pass. This is how we know the Bible's accurate. Okay. Whatever belief you have, show us the prophecies. Okay. You're not, because everybody's stealing from this Bible. Okay. Everybody. Okay. Let's read that. Let me read Isaiah 42:8 first. Okay. Let's give the glory to the Most High. Okay. Let's get the glory to the... See, the world going to be shocked when they find out that the Most High, we look like him. Black people look like the Most High. Okay. They're going to be shocked when they find out that these people that you beat down, stole, robbed, raped, castrated, murdered, killed their kids are the anointed people of the Lord. It's going to shock the world. Let's get Daniel right quick. Daniel's. This is Daniel's, the 7th chapter. So let me show you that Daniel prophesied, and all the prophets prophesied the arrival of these evil people. Okay, that's in power right now. Here it is, Daniel 7, verse 3. It says, Daniel spake and said, verse 2, Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of heaven strove upon the great sea. And four great beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another. First was like a lion, and it had eagle's wings. That's talking about the Babylonians. And I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth, and made to stand upon the feet as a man, and it was given a man's heart, was given to it. It was given wisdom. That's talking about the first beast was the Babylonians. And I beheld another beast, second like a bear, and it raised up itself on one side, and it had three ribs in the mouth of it, okay, between the teeth of it. And they said, thus saith it, arise and devour much flesh. And this was the Persians. And this I beheld, the Persians and the Medes. And this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard. So this leopard was talking about Alexander, which represented the Greeks, because Alexander used to rule with a leopard print headpiece. So Daniel is seeing these great beasts, these kingdoms come forth, right? Then it says, which had upon the back of it four wings. So when you see four wings written, that means it symbolizes wings, symbolizes travel. So he went throughout the earth and conquered. Then it says, and the beast had also four heads. So when you read about Alexander, he had four generals, okay? We're going to read about that. And dominion was given unto it. So the evolution, eventually, this fourth beast got dominion of the planet. Then it says, after this I saw in the night vision, behold, fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth, and it devoured and brake in pieces and stamped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. So you're seeing the evolution of this beast, because it's going to end up having these 10 horns. And when we read Revelations, we talk about this beast. And got bad news, we're living in this prophecy. We're living in this beast that evolved to have the 7 heads and the 10 horns. Okay? So now, let's read what went down in the beginning of this fourth beast. Okay? This is documented history. But Daniel prophesied it before it happened. And then we're going to understand what it means by the end of the world. What was done in the past, that the Lord required the blood of the forefathers of these people here. Okay? That's how the Most High deal with you. He don't get you. He gets you what your forefathers did. That's how he gets you. Fourth, what it says, the third to the fourth generation. He gets you for things you did in the past, just like he did us, the children of Israel. Okay? When we were killing the prophets back then, and we were doing evil and worshiping all kind of gods and adultery. He said, okay. He ended up paying for the children. Okay, the children paid for that. Us. That's why we've been in slavery. Our kids are dying in the streets. We're getting killed by abortion. We're worshiping all kind of foul gods because we're being punished for what our fathers did. Okay, most I don't have no respect to persons. So now let's read this. This is the book of the first Maccabees. I'm gonna do this chapter right quick. And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Shittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and the Medes. We just read about that. Okay. So Alexander the Great, they have this documented in their history. He slaughtered the Persians and the Medes. Remember those 4 beasts we talked about, Daniel prophesied that were going to come on the earth. This is documented history. Okay. Daniel spoke of this. Okay. The Most High put the spirit on Daniel to prophesy about these 4 beasts. Then it says, so we're going to show here what went down when Alexander started conquering. Okay. And this shows how America was founded. This was the foundation of America. The reason why these so-called white people, better known as the biblical Edomites, are in power because of what their father Alexander did. He killed a lot of people, murdered a lot of people. And this is what they don't want in their history books to be taught to us. Okay. So let's read. And it happened after Alexander, son of Philip the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Shittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and the Medes, and he reigned in his stead the first over Greece, and made many wars, won many strongholds, and slew the kings of the earth, and went through the ends of the earth and took spoils of many nations. You know what spoils is? Wealth, riches, people. Okay, everything these so-called white people have, they killed and murdered for. Okay, and have the nerve to be arrogant. So much that the earth was quiet before him. So before Alexander the Great stepped out and started conquering and killing, the earth was quiet. It was at peace. Then it says, whereupon he was exalted and his heart was lifted up. They go that pride. And what do you mean exalted? They made him like a god. And he gathered a mighty strong host and ruled over countries and nations and kings who became tributaries unto him. What do you mean became tributaries? What's tribute? One word, taxes. This is why you pay taxes today. It started with the Greeks and the Romans, and you still pay taxes. That's what happened when you're killed and you're conquered and you're murdered. The people go into slavery and you pay a wage to the ruler. That's how it goes. And after those things, he fell sick and perceived that he should die. And he had gotten sick, Alexander. Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable and had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them while he was yet alive. So he had 4 friends that he grew up. And when he got sick, he parted his kingdom with them, okay, which were his 4 generals, okay. I didn't write their names down. It's going to tell us. You can Google their names. Then it says, so Alexander reigned 12 years and then died. And his servants have ruled everyone in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them. And many years in evils were multiplied in the earth. This is how evil got in the earth, globally. And there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been a hostage at Rome, and he reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men. See, we were called the children of Israel during this time period. This happened 400 something years before the arrival of Christ and the Messiah. Okay, that's why when you read the New Testament, the conversation of the Greeks came up, because why? A lot of our people were converting to the ways and the mindsets of the Greeks, these people right here. Okay. So if you don't understand this part about history, you'll never understand the New Testament. Okay. And we're going to show what these Greeks did. And you're going to see the similarities of what they did coming down in the earth now. For the scripture saith, there's no new thing under the sun. So the evils that are multiplying on the planet, they were done before. They're just being reiterated. Okay? Let's read. In those days went out, this is 1 Maccabees 1:11. In those days went out Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make our covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had such sorrow. This was your first sect of what they call sellouts. Okay? We always had sellouts. This is the first brand of sellouts back then. Let's make a covenant with the heathen. What does that mean? Let's make a covenant with the heathen. Let's make an agreement to rule, to live as they live. Okay? This is what you call the first sect of sellouts. Okay? Here it is. So this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people were so forward therein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen. Okay, so the king, remember these four generals, Antiochus, he gave them license to do everything that's adverse to the Heavenly Father's commandments. See, we were the people that kept the laws, statutes, and commandments. We broke the commandments. The Lord punished us and raised these people up. And when they conquered us, we started following their ways, okay, which is the ways of Satan. And we're still doing it. Then it says, whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem, according to the customs of the heathen. This is where you see these gymnasiums all over the place. But back then, we were in the gyms being butt naked with olive oil. They called them bathhouses. And that's why you see the arenas with the sports. That all come back from during the time of the Greeks and the Romans. Okay? But you was butt naked. Okay? They used to put us in these arenas, and we used to fight lions. We used to fight animals, different animals. And you sitting there watching the Jets game. The hell with sports. The hell with basketball, football, all that garbage. Okay? Let's read. And you're so dumb, you don't realize, let me not call you dumb, but our people are not wise that you don't see that you're there to entertain the king. Okay? You're entertaining the king. Okay? I remember one time they had a video with Jim Brown, and he was talking about helping the brothers. And I'm looking at this dumb smirk on this Edomite's face, this white dude's face, and he's sitting there smiling. I'm saying, no, this man talking, and I'm sitting there like, Jim don't even see this dude ain't even laughing, listening to him. And as soon as Jim finished, he looked at Jim. He said, Jim, are you going to do it? And Jim said, what? He said, you're going to run another touchdown? He wasn't even listening to him, man. They look at you as the world's clowns. They're entertainers, okay? I'm going to watch some damn foot. That's why let me tell you, I can't stand when somebody come talk to me about some stupid sports. Don't talk to me about no dumb sports, man. I don't want to hear that garbage, okay? Get out my face. Every time I work the job and they start talking about who scored 10 points last night, I walk away, man. Them people killed my forefathers. You think I want to hear about that crap? Let me read. Therefore, it says, this verse 14, whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem, according to the customs of the heathen, and made themselves uncircumcised. See, we had a covenant of circumcision, which was given to our father, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And you're supposed to circumcise your son on the 8th day. This is where the hospital stole that from. Our customs. That was a covenant between the Most High and Abraham. Okay? And we all, that's a law of God. You're supposed to be circumcised the 8th day when a male child is born. So a lot of these societies have stole that from our customs. That's why when you go in the hospital, they have that option. Okay? Well, these people that rule now, when their forefathers started, it was a law for you not to be circumcised. That's why a lot of us now walk around with uncircumcised penises. Okay? Because this is a society that don't keep the laws of God. So let's read. Verse 15. And made themselves uncircumcised and forsook the holy covenant and joined themselves to the heathen and were so to do mischief. And we learned the ways of our enemies. And we started doing wickedly like them. That's why a lot of these brothers that sell dope, where do you think they learned that from? Okay. They learned that from their enemies. Taught them how to be gangsters and all that. How to steal, how to kill their own people and poison their own people with that garbage. Okay. Sell dope in their own community. Okay. It's them same Uncle Tom sellouts. Okay. And in time to come, the Lord gonna kill them for that. Okay. Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Let's read. Now, when the kingdom was established before Antiochus, he thought to reign over Egypt, and he might have the dominion over two realms. Wherefore he entered into Egypt with a great multitude, with chariots and elephants and horsemen and a great navy, and made war against Ptolemy, king of Egypt. But Ptolemy was afraid of him and fled, and many were wounded to death. So he rolled up on his own partner. They grew up together. And he rolled on Ptolemy. This is all documented in history. Okay. And his boy was scared and ran. Okay. This is how they are. They serpents. They don't have no loyalty to each other. Okay. They still got that nature today. Then it says, thus they got the strong cities in the hand of Egypt, and he took the spoils thereof, robbery. And after that, Antiochus has smitten Egypt, he returned again in 143rd year and went up against Israel and Jerusalem with a great multitude. So after he robbed and took down Egypt, he came after the children of Israel, us. Okay, so you wasn't called African Americans during this time period, black men and all that garbage you call yourself today. Okay, you were the children of Israel. So when he finished killing Egypt and destroying them, he came after us. Okay, see, these white people didn't work hard at all. They stole, raped, and murdered. This is the truth. They know it. Let's read. It says, verse 20, and after that Antiochus had smitten Egypt, he returned again in 143rd year and went up against Israel and Jerusalem with a great multitude, and entered proudly into the sanctuary, and took away the golden altar, and the candlestick of light, and all the vessels thereof, and the table of shewbread, and the pouring vessels, and the vials, and the censers of gold, and the vials, and the crowns, and the golden ornaments that were before the temple, all which he pulled off. So these so-called white people, better known as the biblical Edomites, the Greeks, they went into the temple and stole all the gold. They still have it in their possession. A lot of that stuff is in the Vatican. Okay? They still have those things in possession, and they stole it out of the temple. Okay? Then it says, because we had the temples, and they went in there and they slaughtered and they stole the gold and the wealth, and they still have the stuff in their possessions. Okay? They're a nation of thieves. Then it says, and he took also the silver and the gold and the precious vessels. Also, he took the hidden treasures which he found. They got all our gold and our wealth. Okay? They stole it out of the temples of the Lord. This is why the Lord is bringing judgment on the planet. This is what their forefathers did. Let's read. And when he had taken all away, he went into his own land, having made a great massacre. He killed a lot of people. This is what your forefathers left with. This is what your forefathers did, and he left you today with this ticket. This is why you see all the plagues, landslides, fire, and all the earthquake, because the Lord is calling for that murder, that bloodshed. Then it says, and when he had taken all away, he went unto his own land, having made a great massacre and spoken very proudly. Therefore, there was great mourning in Israel, in every place where they were, so that the princes and the elders mourned, and the virgins and the young men were made feeble, and the beauty of the women was changed. This is why a lot of the men are punks and act like girls and wearing skinny jeans, and this is why the women are like whores, shaking, twerking on TV. We weren't like that, okay? Why? Because they pushed us to not deal with the laws of God. Okay? Let's prove that right quick. Let me hold that. Here it is. It was prophesied by the prophet Amos. Let's get it. Okay? That was going to happen. Here it is. This is Amos, the 7th chapter, 17th verse in the King James Bible. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, thy wife shall be a harlot in the city, and thy sons and thy daughters shall fall by the sword, and thy land shall be divided by line, and thou shalt die in a polluted land, and Israel shall surely go into captivity forth of his land. See, our prophets prophesied these things. It told us that our women were going to be a whore. It told us our women were going to be whores. It told us that the young men were going to die in the streets like they're doing now. It was all written before it came to pass, okay? And it was prophesied, like I read in Deuteronomy 28, verse 15, that the Lord's going to raise a nation against us of fierce continents that don't respect old or young, okay? So let's read on. Verse 25. Therefore, there was a great mourning in Israel in every place where they were, so that the princes and the elders mourned, and the virgins and the young men were made feeble, and the beauty of women were changed. Every bridegroom took up lamentation, and she that sat in the marriage chamber was in heaviness. The land also was moved for the inhabitants thereof, and all the house of Jacob was covered with confusion. That's why we have confusion among us now. This happened way before slavery. Slavery was another time period. This happened way before Christ arrived. These people were killing us and enslaving us and murdering us and stole all our wealth. Okay? And let's read. And after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collector of tribute unto the cities of Judah, who came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude. So when they kill you and they murdered us and stole our wealth, they came with people to pay, so you can pay tribute, which they call taxes today. Then it says, and spake peaceably words unto them, but all was deceit. Don't that sound familiar? Remember when the Indians were here? Okay, as they say in their history books, the Pilgrims and all that garbage. When they came here, they was speaking those same peaceful words. Yeah, and then when the brothers, my people, when we turned our backs, they killed us with the Gatling gun, and they put the smallpox in the hides of the buffalo. Germ warfare. They were always using germ warfare. Okay, let's read. It says, and let me read that again, verse 29. And after 2 years fully was expired, the king sent his chief collectors of tribute unto the cities of Judah, who came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude, and spake peaceably words unto them, but all was deceit. For when they had given him credence, he fell suddenly upon the city, and smote it very sore, and destroyed much people of Israel. And when he had taken the spoils of the city, he set it on fire, and pulled down the houses and walls thereof on every side. Don't that sound familiar? You remember Black Wall Street, right? When he saw them people prospering, he sent a bomb over there and burnt the city down. Okay? You know what it says in the Bible? Look what it says in the Bible. This is, I think it's Isaiah 13. Let's see if that's it. Look what it says. Okay? Isaiah 13. That's not it. Isaiah. Let me see, Isaiah 22:13. I think it's Isaiah 22:13. Let's see if that's it. I can't find it. Oh, that's not it. Is it Jeremiah? Let me see. I can pull it up right quick. Oh, I ain't got my phone. But anyway, it says, it's going to come to me. Jeremiah. I'm sorry. Jeremiah 13. You got to bear with me sometime. Because my brain be gone. Jeremiah 23. Hold on 1 second. Oh, Jeremiah 13. Hold on 1 second. Bear with me. My brain it ain't sharp as it used to be. Oh, yeah, here it is right here. I got it. Okay, just bear with me. I'll get it. This is Jeremiah 13, verse 23. Can the Ethiopian change his skin? Can an Ethiopian change his skin? You know, Ethiopians are brown. Could he change his skin? No, he can't. He's born like that. He's made like that. Then it says, or the leopard, his spots. You know, when you look at a leopard, you see the spots a leopard have. Could he change that? No, because he's born that way. The Most High created him that way. He created the Ethiopian with dark skin, and he created the leopard with leopard spots, and they can't change it. That's the way it is. Then watch this. Can the Ethiopian change his skin, or can the Ethiopian change his skin, or the leopard his spots? Then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil. That's why you see the series of evil with these people. Okay, they're born to do that. You can't change them. You can't, like they said with the Terminator, you can't change them. You can't bargain with them. Wow. Okay, let's read that. Read on. It says, this is 1 Maccabees 1:31. And when he had taken the spoils of the city, he set it on fire, just like they did Black Wall Street, and pulled down the houses and walls thereof on every side. But the women and the children took they captive and possessed the cattle. Like I said earlier, okay, when we went in slavery around the 1600s, as they say, that wasn't the first time we were enslaved. They did this before. Then built they the city of David with a great and strong wall, and with mighty towers, and made it a stronghold for them. And they put therein a sinful nation, wicked men, fortified themselves therein. Then it says, and they stored it also with an armor and victuals. And when they had gathered together the spoils of Jerusalem, they laid them up there, and so they became so sore a snare, for it was a place to lie in wait against the sanctuary, and an evil adversary to Israel. Thus they shed innocent blood on every side of their sanctuary. This is their MO. They've been shedding innocent blood since they came forth. Their father Alexander started in the earth and defiled it, insomuch that the inhabitants of Jerusalem fled because of them, whereupon the city was made an habitation of strangers. And it's right now, still this day. Then it said, her sanctuary was laid waste like a wilderness. Her feasts were turned in the morning, her Sabbaths into reproach, and her honor also contempt. As had been her glory, so was her dishonor increased, and her excellency was turned into mourning. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to the whole kingdom that all should be one people. They're talking that garbage now. There's no gender. Then it says, and everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. That's what's going on now, right? Don't they tell you in this society you can marry a man? Okay, that opposes the laws of God. They say in God we trust, right? They swear their president's in on the Bible. That means that you're supposed to uphold the laws of God. But they turn around and marry a man. They turn around and tell you can celebrate you can worship any gods you want. But the commandments say, thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make any graven images. All these churches contain graven images. Okay? That shows that this is a lying society. It's a wicked society. So let's read. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, and everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion. So that's why a lot of our people right now follow the ways of this world, because it goes back then. They sold out back then, and they still selling out. They turn their back on the laws of God, and they're following Satan under their slave master. Okay? You understand? Then it says, for the king had sent letters by messengers to Jerusalem and to the cities of Judah that they should follow the strange laws of the land, forbid burnt offerings, sacrifice, and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbaths and the festival days. That's why if you go in these churches, they don't keep the high holy days of the Most High, which is recorded in the book of Leviticus. Okay, Leviticus, the 20th chapter, I think it's the 20th chapter. I'll make sure. 23rd chapter. Okay. The Most High gave Israel the high holy days to keep. And we keep Thanksgiving, Christmas, Halloween, President's Day, all the satanic days of our enemies. Okay. Because they're not holy days, because they're lies. The word holiday comes from holy day. It's nothing holy about them days at all. Why? Because it wasn't sanctioned by the Father. Okay. So if you're worshiping Christmas, Thanksgiving, Mother's Day, Father's Day, all that garbage they deal with, those are holidays of the devil. Okay, let's read. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to the religion and sacrificed in the idols and profaned the Sabbath. For the king had sent letters by messengers to Jerusalem and the cities of Judah that they should follow the strange laws of the land and forbid burnt offerings, sacrifices, and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbaths and the festival days. That's what's going on now. And pollute the sanctuary and holy people and set up altars and groves. That's why right now you can't even get a good sandwich with it without it laced with bacon. Why? Because they want to pollute you. The pig is the sacrifice of the devil. He loves the pig. Okay? That's why you go in your churches soon after service, you go get what? Go get a damn ham sandwich, okay? And you don't realize that's sacrificing to Satan. That's the cuisine Satan loved, the pig. And it happened to be the most filthiest animal in the dietary law of the Most High in Leviticus. Okay, the 11th chapter. Go read it for yourself. I'm a Christian. How you a Christian? You eating pork, lobsters, crabs, mussels, oysters. I'm a Christian. Christian mean to be Christ-like. Christ said, I came not to destroy the law, but to fulfill. Me and the Father's one. If you love me, keep my commandments. Okay? He that transgresseth breaketh the law. All these things are said in the New Testament. I'm a Christian. No, you ain't. You are a Satanist. Let's read. It says, verse 45, and forbid offerings, sacrifices, and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbaths and the festival days. So we had our customs of the Most High, and they made a law. If we catch you doing that, we're going to kill you, just like what's happening today. Soon, you're not going to be able to read your Bible, okay? You're not going to be able to have your belief. They're going to give you a belief. What's the belief they bring in? Worshiping Satan. Okay, that's on the way. Soon they catch you with a Bible, you'll be either killed or you'll be killed or you'll be in prison. Oh, you don't believe it? You don't believe me? They put this in their book, the New World Order. This is what all this stuff is about going on in their governments. They setting up a new order under Satan, the authority of Satan, and they put it in their book. Here it is. I use this as evidence. Here it is. This is page 20. Page 20. The New World Order will include changes in the family. Homosexual marriages will be legalized. That happened. Parents will not be allowed to raise their children. The state will. That happened. All women will be employed by the state. That happened. And not allowed to be homemakers. That happened. Divorce will become exceedingly easy, and monogamous marriages will be slowly phased out. That's why a lot of these so-called black women are single by themselves. They don't believe in being married. Why? Because this society said you don't have to be married. All you need is a career. Then it says, the workplace. The government will become the owner of all the factors of production. That's happening now. That's why when you go in these workplaces, what's moving? Machines and robots. The private ownership of property will be outlawed. So you're talking about you're going to be a owner, your own owner and all that. Well, they're about to outlaw that. Okay, the government's going to run everything, which they already do. Okay, that's why if you don't oblige by government standards, they'll shut you down. That's why during the pandemic, they said, shut your business down, and you had to do it, or you'll be thrown in jail. Then it says, the government will become the owner of all factors of production. The private ownership of property will be outlawed, and religion. Let's put the Bible there. Religion will be outlawed, and believers will be either eliminated or imprisoned. There will be a new religion, the worship of man and his mind. All will believe in the new religion. So that's what's coming. So your little faith, you're going to have to make a choice. Death, the Most High, or death. That's how it's coming down. That's why get your mind in that mindset, because they're going to put that option on the table for everybody. You with Satan or you with the Most High? Make a choice. Okay, that's what it's coming. That's why they're endorsing same-sex marriage. And y'all think that's cute, but guess what? Satan, that's one of his top violations. He loved that. That's one of his. If you agree with that, you in allegiance to Satan. You thinking it's about you feel feelings for somebody else, but that act is a higher thing than what you think in the demon world. Okay. Because you totally turning your back on the Most High, okay? He already set the order. That's why when you're born, you have a penis and a vagina. And this is how they tell what you are, okay? Not only humans, but that's a dynamic in species, in insects, in animals, okay? That's what the Most High put in the universe when he created it. And you are violating what he created, okay? It ain't about your feelings and your emotions. So let's read. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion, and you're doing it now. The religion is what? Satan worship. And sacrifice unto idols and profane the Sabbath. For the king had sent letters by messenger unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah that they should follow the strange laws of the land. That's why you don't even keep the Sabbath. That garbage you keep in, talking about Sunday and all that, he changed all that. Then it says, and polluted the sanctuary and the holy people, set up altars, groves, chapels of idols, and sacrificed swine's flesh. Swine is pig. And they put that pig on an altar and sent it up to the Most High. Their forefathers did that, and you got to pay for that. That's why you see all these things happening now, because the blood of what your forefathers did and the wickedness and the evil, what your ancient forefathers, Alexander and all your emperors and all that, the blood is now being required of by the Most High. Okay, that's why you see all these bad things. When you see tragic things happening, okay, and your kids on dope and being dope addicts, all that is coming back for what your forefathers did. We did it. We had the same thing happen to us. While forefathers did evil in the sight of the Lord, we took the tab for it. Okay? We took that tab. Okay? Then it says that they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable with all manner uncleanness and profanation. Abominable. See, we the holy people. We can't do what everybody do. Okay? All that race mingling and orgies and these women sleeping with multiple men and having bulls and all that garbage. Most High gonna burn all that up. Okay? The rap songs endorsing whoremongering and all that, sleeping with hoes and leaving them alone, all that garbage. Most High gonna clean this planet. He about to clean all that garbage out of his planet. Let's read. To the end they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. See, you don't have an option. This is your option. Repent and return to the Most High through the Messiah, the real Messiah of the Bible, or die. That's the only option you have. And whosoever, and that's what every one of us, And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said, he shall die. In the selfsame manner wrote he to his whole kingdom, and appointed overseers over all the people, commanding the cities of Judah to sacrifice city by city. We're going to be going into that again. They're starting that now. They're putting up the Baphomet idols all over the world. Okay? And you go, and the sacrifices, you're doing that already when you commit abortions and all that. When they be when them cops be killing these young brothers, that's a sacrifice to Satan. Then it says, in the selfsame manner wrote he to his whole kingdom, and appointed overseers over this people, commanding the cities of Judah to sacrifice city by city. Then many of the people were gathered unto them, to wit, everyone that forsook the law, and so they continued evils in the land, and drove the Israelites into secret places, even wheresoever they could flee for succor. Now the 15th day of the month, Caslu, in the 145th year, they set up the abomination of desolation upon the altar, and built idol altars throughout the city of Judah on every side, and burnt incense. What's the desolation? The abomination of desolation. Daniel prophesied that. Okay, when they put that pig on the altar. Okay, when you go back in our history, we had a high priest that used to send offerings up to the Most High, and he was the only one that can deal with that altar. Well, guess what? These people, when they killed us and they violated us in our land, and as a disrespect and a mock to the Most High, they put a pig on that altar, where you have to put, where the high priest used to put lamb to let the Most High smell the aroma. He loved that. So you don't think you're going to pay for what your forefathers did? Let's read. And burnt incense at the doors of their house and in the streets. And when they had rent in pieces the books of the law, they were tearing up the Bibles, just like Hitler did, okay? Which they found, they burnt them with fire. They were burning the Bibles. That's what's going to happen again. Then it says, and wheresoever was found with any the book of the testament, or if any consented to the law, the king's commandment was that they should put them to death. And we're going back to that. They're going to bring that into society. They catch you with that Bible, they're going to kill you. Okay, just like their foreparents were doing. Their forefathers were doing the same thing. It's nothing new under the sun. Okay, let me read that again in Isaiah. This Jeremiah 13:23. Can the Ethiopian change his skin, or the leopard his spots? Then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil. They can't repent. You can't change them. They were created to play the wicked, and they have been playing the wicked. Okay? And they hate God. Okay? Then it says, and whosoever was found with any of the book of the testimony, or if any consented in the law, the king's commandment was that they should put him to death. Thus did they by their authority unto the Israelites every month, to as many as were found in the cities. Now the 25th day of the month, they did sacrifice upon the idol altar, and which was upon the altar of God. And at which time, according to the commandment, they put to death certain women that had caused their children to be circumcised. So they were killing women, our women. When you circumcise, you try to keep the laws of God and circumcise your children, they would kill them. Let's see what they did to the kids. Okay. And in which time, according to the commandment, they put to death certain women that had caused their children to be circumcised. And they hanged the infants about their necks, and rifled their houses, and slew them that had circumcised them. Howbeit many in Israel were fully resolved and confirmed in themselves not to eat any unclean thing. Wherefore they chose rather to die, that they might not be defiled with meats, and that they might not profane the holy covenant. Go then, it says, so then they died, and there was very great wrath upon Israel. So back then they had a lot of our people that would rather die than eat all unclean things like pork, lobsters, and all that garbage. Today, oh man, you'll love it. You like to have it with some gravy and rice. Okay, See that? So that's why I read this in Deuteronomy. It was already written. Moses spoke of these things, that these people were going to come. Let me read it again. Okay? This Bible don't lie, because the Most High tell it and it happened. Let me read that first. This is Isaiah 42 and 8. Okay? That's why you better watch your fat mouth when you talk about this Bible. Okay? Because every idle word you speak is going to be held accountable for you. Here it is, Isaiah 42, verse 8. I'm the Lord, that is my name, and my glory will I not give to another, neither my praise to graven images. Behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare before they spring forth. I tell you of them. So the prophets tell you of these things before they happen. So Moses told us that these people were going to rise. Let's get that. This is Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 28, verse 49. Deuteronomy 28, 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from the ends of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth. And these people carry that symbol, the eagle. The Greeks and the Romans in America today. Okay, all these European nations carry that symbol. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. Why we wouldn't understand their tongue, meaning their language? Because we spoke in Hebrew. Verse 50. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of old, nor show favor to the young. That's why we just read how they hung them babies when the women didn't circumcise them, then they killed the women. Okay? Let me read that again in Jeremiah. Okay? Y'all don't really understand about this life you in. Okay? This is Jeremiah. This is why the end of the world is at hand. Okay? Jeremiah 13 again, verse 23. Can the Ethiopian change his skin? No. Or the leopard his spots? No. Then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil. They haven't changed, man. You can't change these people. You can't rehabilitate them people. Okay? They were created to do the evil. That's all they do. Okay? That's all they do. That's all they do. They're still doing evil. Okay? Now, let's go to Matthew 24. Okay? Matter of fact, we're going to go on this tomorrow because I'm getting tired. So we're going to go in tomorrow. We're going to do part 6. I just wanted to set that up. We're going to go into part 6 of the second Exodus is at hand. And this is why you got to understand why our people need to repent and turn back to the Messiah. Let me say this. This is not the white man's book. This is not the white man's book. This is your book, your history, your present, and your future. Okay? And you need to know this book like the back of your hand these last days to survive. Okay? Because bad days are coming. And we're going to go tomorrow. We're going to go back in and we're going to finish what the Messiah prophesied. Okay? We're going to read about that, what he said. We're going to go deep into Matthew 24. And then we're going to show how he's going to deliver us out of here. And you want to be in that number, like the old song go. Oh, when the saints, that's what they were talking about. When the saints go marching in, I want to be in that number. When the saints go marching in. Who are the saints? The children of Israel. Who are the children of Israel? Negroes, West Indians, Puerto Ricans, Haitians, Dominicans, Colombians, Brazilians, Argentinians, brothers from Panama, from Cuba, the North American Indians, and the Mexicans of Negroid and Indian descent. They're the chosen lost tribe, and they're scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Main Israelites is here in America. Why? Because we built America just like we built Egypt. Okay? America is the land of opportunity. America is known as Babylon the Great in Revelations 18. Okay? John the Revelator and most of the prophets prophesied about this place. Jeremiah spoke of this place. Daniel spoke of this place, and it came to pass. Okay? So tomorrow, Lord's will, we're going to go into Matthew 24, and we're going to run it all the way up to, and I've said it on other shows, how this great deliverance is going to come. And when this deliverance come from America, this is what they're going to say. And I'm going to leave on this. Here it is. This is Jeremiah. Jeremiah. They're going to say this when this deliverance come. Okay? And a lot of you black people, you Israelites that don't believe You don't believe this Bible, you are sadly deceiving yourself. Okay? Jeremiah 16. Jeremiah 16, verse 14. Let's see. Here it is, Jeremiah 16:14. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. So they're not going to say that no more like they're saying now. They remember how the Lord delivered the children of Israel out of Egypt. That's why Egypt is not as powerful as it was once. Okay? So they're not going to talk about that no more. They're going to talk about something else. Let's read that again. Jeremiah 16:14. Therefore, behold, the days come, and saith the Lord, that it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But the Lord liveth that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north. Where is America located? North America, right? And from all the lands whither he had driven them. And he's going to collect them from all the lands where he scattered them. And I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers. So that's what's going to happen. That's the second Exodus that's going to come on the planet. Okay? He's coming for us. That's why he's bringing our enemies down as we speak. So with that, I say shalom, Yabba Shema Shabrakata. Stay tuned for part 6. We're going to go deeper and I'm going to go longer. Okay? With that, shalom.